see, in the earliest stage of the story, we saw this idea of Ramakrishna relating to spirituality personalized as the divine mother. In the second part of the story, see, the relationship is, God is my mother. I am a little child at the mercy of the Lord, of the mother goddess. The second part of the story says, God is a child at my mercy. I can tell him off. See, the variation visible within the Bhakti movement becomes visible in the story of Ramakrishna. Do you know why all these different chapters are unfolding? I told you, here is a personality that is trying to show the various strands of Hinduism reconciled in one life. One of the most astute professors of religious education in the Western world, very famous, called Professor Ninian Smart, said this of Ramakrishna. He said, before Ramakrishna came on the stage, Hinduism was a scattered enterprise. All the different strands of Hinduism were lay scattered. Nobody was able to reconcile the various strands. In one life, he managed to kind of sew together all these various strands and turn into a beautiful tapestry, seamless tapestry of Hinduism in its brightest form. In one life, reconcile. Whenever you reconcile, you get a thrill. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. When bits of pieces fit together and you begin to see a greater picture, you get a kick, don't you? In the same way, Hinduism, that was lying scattered in one life, was going to be tied up by this one personality. So the story starts, carries on. The idea of God is the mother. God is a baby at your mercy, very visible in the story of Ramakrishna. All the bhakti ideas very visible in the story of Ramakrishna. He practices various different bhavs the Hindus talk about. The Shanta bhav, the Vatsalya bhav, Dasya bhav, the Madhura bhav, thinking of God as your sweetheart. He practiced all of them. At the end of all his practices, within a few days, everything he practiced, within a few days, he was managed to reach his conclusion. Every form of bhakti he practiced, he reached the conclusion in a very short time. During this period, you see the visions of various gods and goddesses, Rama, Krishna becoming visible to this one personality, in one personality. See, very interesting. So this is how the story continues to unfold. Then the story doesn't stop there. You go a stage further. You see, there has been, in the story of Ramakrishna, we find the reconciliation of variety of different approaches in spirituality. And the three major movements in the philosophic movements of the Hindus are the Dvaita tradition, which says you and God are essentially different. You need to build a relationship with God, and that's all you can do. The Dvaita tradition. The Vishishta Dvaita tradition, which says that even though you and God are different, we are not that different. God is like the fire, you are like the spark. Essentially the same, but you are not equal caliber to God. The Vishishta Dvaita tradition. Then there is a third one, set up by Adi Shankara, the Advaita tradition, which is philosophically extremely satisfying. Now, before you even begin the Advaita tradition, you see, because look, I'm now reconciling bhakti with jnana. And you may think jnana means you sit down and you kind of smoke a pipe and think about spirituality in an intellectual manner. Nothing of the sort. The Jnana Marg is equally experiential. It is not purely intellectual, fly off in your thought structure. It is something that can be experienced equally dramatically. Jnana Marg can be experienced. Yes, it can be experienced. And without experience, I say religion is worthless. If anybody talks about religion, look, whenever you come across any religious personalities, friends, simple example, I'm telling you, litmus test. Ask yourself, don't ask me, don't even ask him sometimes, ask yourself, is this person talking about spirituality from experience or is it just book learning? Ask yourself. You will be able to very quickly suss out the real masters from the charlatans. You see, there are so many in the market. This market is crowded and everybody is making claims for themselves. They're all kind of, I can't even, look, let me tell you. With Ramakrishna, I have stopped using the word Shri. Because there are so many Shris around, including Shri Lakhani, they are Asthate. They are nuisance. You see, with Ramakrishna, I don't use the word Shri even. Do you know why? If you love somebody, if you feel so close to somebody, Shri is like, in a way, like saying Mr. Respectful title. If you really love somebody, would you put Shri in front of him? If you met your father, would you say, Mr. Father, Shri Father. It's a father. It's a mother. You say, you don't need to kind of put a top and tail. When you love somebody, you take the tops and tails away, kick them out. You have no time for that. You need to grab the person. The one who is the middle of this kind of labels. You need to grab that. So here is this Ramakrishna now reconciling, if you like, this idea of bhakti with gnana. Now Adi Shankara says, in order for you to be established in Gnana Marg, look, this is experiential religion with Adi Shankara too. You require 4 things. Vivek, discrimination between what is real and what is not real. Not fancy or fanciful thing, but things which are real, which will stand the test. Vivek. Vairagya, dispassion. Then Shatta Sampati. These are the kind of things which require Samma, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhan and Shraddha. And the fourth one is Mumukshvatva. Mumukshva means you feel tremendous attraction towards the idea of God. Tremendous. Now all these instruments that you require, the tools that you require, are already visible in the story of Ramakrishna. He doesn't have to kind of go to a university and develop any of these traits. He already possesses all of this. So the student is ready, and it's time for the teacher to make an entrance.